Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start today. Hi, everyone. This is Jenny Anderson. I work on the Client Solutions team here at AAM. Just want to say thank you for attending our Media Intelligence Center Cross Media Analyzer training session today. And I would like to start out by suggesting that you use either Chrome or Firefox as your internet browser when you're using the Media Intelligence Center. So we have a lot to cover today. If we have time, I will take questions at the end of the webinar, but if not, I will email you answers to your submitted questions after the webinar. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and share my screen. And what you're going to be seeing is the login, or I'm sorry, the auditedmedia.com, our website, but also the login for the Media Intelligence Center. So I'm just going to go ahead and click login here, go to Media Intelligence Center, and then you will, on your left-hand side, see a returning user side. So the returning user side is where if you created your credentials, you're going to go in here, click Remember Me, and then you've got your credentials in there. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And now you see the main page of our Media Intelligence Center. We have just over 1,700 publications represented in here. And you can see what types of data we have represented here on the left-hand side. The publications are, of course, listed in alphabetical order here. Today, for this session, our focus is on cross-media metrics. So to give you a little bit of information about cross-media metrics, this is voluntary for our publications to provide. Cross-media data can include app, audience summary / readership data, newsletter, social media, and web mobile metrics. So you'll want to choose which type of media first here you're interested in. We provide cross-media metrics for our newspapers and our B2B titles. We have just a few titles that provide cross-media metrics for consumer magazine and farm titles. So we're going to concentrate on those newspapers and B2B. So first, let's take a look at our news media titles. So under the media filter here, I'm going to select news media. And then I'm going to go down to the cross media filter. So it's just down a couple. You go to cross media and I click the plus sign. So here you can see that we have newspapers that provide app, audience summary / readership data, social media, and web mobile cross-media data. To access all of these titles that provide this information, we just want to place a check mark in the box to the left of app, to the left of audience summary, social media, and web mobile. Now that we've got our listing of titles here that provide this data, we're going to want to go ahead and place a check mark to the left of media property to select all of those titles. So for this sample, we're selecting every single one of these. And then to select all, we put a check mark to the left of media property. And then most importantly, to get to the cross media analyzer, you have to click Analyze Data. That's the key to get you to the cross media tab. Now we're going to select on cross media. So under select reporting year, you do have to choose a year. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and select 2020. Now, once you select your year, it comes to where you can select a month. So I don't really use the select a particular month because I don't like to see just one. I want data for all months. So if you don't select one month, then you'll get data for all months that are available. So now you can see under Select Report, the 4 options you have for cross-media reporting. If we go here, here is Web Mobile Analysis. So that's our first report under Select Report. For Web Mobile Analysis, this report provides unique users, unique browsers, and page impressions for a newspaper's reported website. So if I were to click on Modify here, you can see unique users, unique browsers, page impressions here. And I'll show you the options to access the reports in a moment. So this data, web mobile data, is reported monthly. The most common sources are Adobe Analytics, ComScore, or Google Analytics. You can also access this data on the digital tab if the publication has brand view. So when you click on a publication's name in blue on the main page, if that pub has brand view, you'll see a number of tabs, and digital would be in there if this title has chosen to feature it. So next is app analysis. So this report provides unique devices and page impressions for your newspaper's apps. This data is reported monthly. So the most common sources are Adobe Analytics, Flurry, or Google Analytics. So again, when you click on that modify button, just to show you the options here, you'll see unique device, page impressions, and then optional reporting. So next we go to social analysis. So once we go to social analysis, you'll see this report provides information about a publication's social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Social media metrics are reported for one date in each month. All newspapers must report the total number of likes, followers, fans, etc. under activity. So if I go and click the modify plus sign to the right of social analysis, you'll see month, source, account name, URL, and activity. So just remember that activity is where you're going to see that likes, followers, etc. information. You can also access this data if you look at brand view as well. So it'll be under the social media tab. So now we go to our last report, which is audience analysis. This provides information about a publication's readership. You will get DMA and NDM readership and reach metrics provided by Scarborough in this report. So again, if I click on modify, I want you to see what's available in this report. We've got DMA print readers, print reach, NDM. DMA is designated market area. NDM is newspaper designated market area, which is created by the newspaper. DMA is a Nielsen term. So let me close out of here. If you would like to access Scarborough audience summary data, you can do so not only here in the cross media tab, but you can also do it in the MIC under reports and tools, audience summary database, or on the audience tab if the publication has brand view and they've chosen to place this in the audience tab. But this information is also on a publication's news media statement. So you'll see that readership data right at the top of that news media statement. So once you choose a report, you have several options to access it. So that's what I wanted to go over next, is we've got 3 options to access these reports. So now that we know what they entail, the 3 options are you can export. This is a predetermined column header report. So if you just want a really fast report, what I would do is go ahead and click export. Because what that's going to do is it's going to provide your data in Excel, and these are predetermined column headers. So you didn't choose these, but they're going to be the most popular or kind of the higher level of data here. So here you'll see I've got my Excel file, I've got my unique users, browsers, page impressions, etc. So that's a very easy way for you to access that data. You can also view the report. So what that does is it allows you to actually see this report here prior to exporting it. So you can see, does it contain everything I want in my report? If it does, you can click on the export icon, choose your preferred format. XLSX is the most recent Excel, and click OK. And then your report will download into Excel. Now, the option that I most often use is modify. It takes just an extra step, but what I like to do is I like to see what categories I have for options in my report. So here, of course, member number is really internal to AAM, but a lot of people use that. So you can include it. You can select all, So that's going to select all of your mandatory reporting and then optional reporting. Otherwise, you can go through here and pick and choose what you want included in your report. If you see a grayed out check mark, that means that this is automatically included in your report. You can't really deselect it. So once I have all of the categories that I want in my report, then I just click on Submit. And now I have my data, and here's where I export it. I choose my preferred format and I click OK, and then that downloads into Excel. So this works the same for every single one of these titles, or excuse me, reports. So when you're going into app analysis, again, 3 options on how you want to access, same with social or audience. But as you can see, if you click on that modify, you'll see that the audience analysis report automatically includes virtually every category here, except for a few. And then you click on submit, and then you export your data. Everything works the same for each one of these reports. App analysis, if I click modify, now I get to see my options. And if I want to include optional reporting in this report, then you click submit. Once you see your report, you're going to click on export, choose your preferred format and click OK, and that will download in Excel. So it's truly how you choose to use this tool. It's, if you want, like I said, a quick report, just click that icon. If you want to see the categories that are available to you, use that modify option. It just happens I use that, but some people just like that export. So that's our newspaper titles within the cross-media analyzer. You'll see here. And again, you can choose different years. You can also choose different months. If you're only interested in a certain month, feel free to select 1 or 2, and then that's what will show up in your reports when you pull them. And feel free, again, to pull any year of information you want, currently even for 2021. And then, let's go ahead and reset. So there's a circular button here with the arrow on the end of it. If you're wondering what that is, it's a reset button. And what that does is it resets our search so that we can start on another search or with a different topic. So now we're going to take a look at our B2B titles. So right here on the left-hand side under media, remember we chose news media first. Now we're going to choose B2B media. So that really tells the system I'm only interested right now in B2B titles. And you see we have 160 B2B titles. So if you scroll down, you can access our cross media tab. Again, I'm going to go to the cross media tab and click a plus sign. Now you'll see I've got information for a few under app, newsletter, social media, and web mobile. So that is for our B2B titles. These are the cross-media metrics that these titles have. So what you want to do is you want to, just like we did for newspapers, place a check mark next to app, newsletter, social media, and web mobile. Now, the reason I'm choosing all of these is to get a list of all of the publications that may or may not have data for each particular cross-media filter. You do not have to select all of them. If you're only interested in newspaper or newsletter, go ahead and click on newsletter. Or if you're only interested in web mobile. But for this example, I'm just selecting them all so that we have a listing of everything here. So what I'm going to do again is to choose all of my titles. I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark to the left of media property. Again, one of the most important things to take away from this webinar is that you'll see when you don't have at least one title selected, there's no Analyze Data button. That's the doorway into the Cross Media Analyzer. So it's important to select at least one, and you'll see that. But we want to select all of them so that we can pull them into the Cross Media Analyzer. So what we do is we're going to click on the Analyze Data button, just like we did before. And now we're going to go to the Cross Media tab. Once again, your selection here for a reporting year, you have 2021 back to 2015. So again, you can choose any year you want, but for this session, I'm going to choose 2020 again, as I did before with newspapers. So when I select 2020, I'm going to scroll down and show you 3 of our categories show up: web mobile analysis, social analysis, and newsletter analysis. So the web mobile analysis and social analysis provide the same type of data that we noted before. The newsletter analysis report is new. We did not go over that when we went over our newspapers. So the web mobile analysis and social analysis, they do provide the same type of data for our B2B titles as they do for our newspaper titles. So the newsletter analysis report, to give you a little info about that, this report provides information about a publication's e-newsletter data. E-newsletter data is reported monthly and includes newsletter name, issues delivered in period, and net distribution for period. So if we go ahead and click modify to the right of this, we're going to see our newsletter. Here again, newsletter name, classification, issues delivered in period, net distribution for period. So you can decide if you want to add additional categories here, or if you just want to select all and click submit. So now we have our e-newsletter data, and we've got all the categories we can possibly select. Now we're going to export this. We're going to choose Excel, and we're going to click OK. So now here's our newsletter information, and that will show up in Excel. So here you have all of your information in a convenient format with Excel. And a lot of people here, they may set some filters so that you can filter by a particular month or by a particular member name. So you really can do anything you want once you have this data. You can click on filter, and then you can pick a particular title if you want, or you can pick a particular month. But remember, if you're looking at a particular month, you can actually go into the report. Not only on the front of the Cross Media Analyzer can you choose a month, you can also choose a month right here within Modify. So let's say I just want January, February, March, and again, I have 2020, then you can go ahead and click Submit. And here you're just going to get January, February, and March represented. So you can click Export, choose your preferred format, and click OK. And that downloads directly into Excel. So just like our newsletter titles, our B2B titles work the same once you're in the Cross Media Analyzer. You can select your report, and then you can choose one of 3 ways to access it. And then again, you can choose dates here on the front, or once you click on the modify option, you can choose that. And just as with newspapers, you can pick and choose particular dates that you're interested in. And we have historical info here. If you see here, once we selected 2019, we've got all 4 of our reports available: web, mobile, social, newsletter, and app. The app was missing from our 2020 because we didn't have that data in that particular year. But if you click further back, you can see the 4 represented. So it just depends on what years we have for what data, and again, which months that you would prefer. If the publication has brand view, you can also access B2B cross-media data in brand view, as well as on their most recent PDF publisher statements. So if you click on a title and it does have brand view, you can go in and you can actually access this information. You can see here we've got web, app, social media, newsletter. You can see these in brand view. And then also you can see them on the particular report as well. And you can access those reports in Reports Library. You'll see publisher statements. Same with our newspapers. If you just click on their name, you'll go to the PDF reports on their name in blue. And also you can access, if the publication has brand view, just like we did here, those tabs, if a publication has chosen to report those there. If you want to access consumer magazine or farm cross-media data, you can select magazine media or farm data. So let me click reset, and I'll show you here, magazine media. We have 259 consumer magazines for US and Canada in our system. And if you go down to the cross-media analyzer, we're just beginning to provide cross-media metrics for our consumer magazines, and I expect that those will increase as we go on. And then also, if you wanted to see our farm publications, here's our farm media. Currently, we have 23 farm publications. This is both US and Canada. And then if you were to go down to the cross media filter, you will see that we have just a couple of our publications that have e-newsletter data, 1 social media, and 2 web mobile. Again, you can select these and pull these into the cross media analyzer, just like we did everything else. You'll see our couple titles here. Go here, analyze data, cross media. Same thing with our consumer publications. So just because we didn't feature them doesn't mean we don't have data. We do have data for a few publications. So if you do want to access that, remember you can just use these filters on the left-hand side and then go in and choose your cross-media reports here. So that is our Immediate Intelligence Center Cross-Media Analyzer training session today. One last reminder, please send me an email or give me a call using this for support information at the top here. The micenter@auditedmedia.com is an email that comes directly to me. And then this 877 number is our MIC helpline. And I'm happy to help anytime should you have any questions. Thank you again for joining me today, and I hope that you all have a very nice evening.